All right. Well, yeah. So what's on your mind? I was upset that the lady got too irate because this is a conversation needs to be had, but people have to be calm
Oh,
to have it.
right. So, yeah, so sorry, there's like after you say it, it like repeats itself. So I actually wanted to comment on that.
You know what that is, artist? It's your damn YouTube is open on your phone somewhere. You might have to go
Oh,
through and swipe
hang
and
on a
make sure it's
second.
all. Yeah,
Yeah, hang
it
on
has
a
to
sec.
totally be gone.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. Hear me?
Perfect. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
That was my bad.
Every
Okay.
time, every single time. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Um, yes, like I don't this is what I don't understand about the Free Richard Allen team of people, or the mean girls as you call them, or they really are
Troll
mean
Farm
girls.
2.0. Troll Farm
Oh man,
2.0.
totally. Look, it's a separate issue. If you get justice for Rick Allen, it still doesn't get justice for those girls. They are two, at this point, two separate things. If you get him out of jail, but that murder does not get solved, then there's not true justice. You know what I mean? I personally do not think Richard Allen did this. Um, I think what needs to happen is, I mean, he needs a new trial, period. He needs a new trial where there's not a judge who's sitting there, um, not allowing due process. The evidence needs to be actual, real evidence. Um, the cops did screw it up, maybe on purpose. I don't know. All I know is they didn't start with ground zero, which should have been looking into that family. I mean, hello. They didn't ever mention a woman, ever. And I don't understand that either. It's like they've totally shied away from even the possibility of a female being involved, other than maybe, somebody arranging this as a vendetta thing against, um, oh, why can't I think? The dad. I'm talking about. Things like
Yeah.
that. I mean, but why not the possibility that a woman actually was, or a girl was responsible for this, or had a huge hand in this? You
Yeah.
know, that's what
Yeah.
that
And
that right
honestly,
there.
I don't even want to talk about the crime. I don't mean to tell you what to talk about, but I don't even want to talk about the crime tonight. I think it's good. We should talk about what this girl was talking about, but in a calm way, because
Right.
this is what I'm saying. This conversation needs to be had, but it has to be had calmly. And that's why I was kind of disturbed that this other one came in. I'm trying to remember her name. Um,
I can't
she
remember it.
made one comment and then she seems to have dipped. But it's like,
Yeah.
no, let's have the conversation, but send someone who can actually take a deep breath and we can talk one at a time and not yell. Because for me, there's layers to it. And that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
My initial take, I don't have a disagreement with the initial take that in some ways the best opportunity that will ever be had is going to be this post conviction investigation. Okay, let's start at at level one,
Mhm.
ground level.
That's right.
Okay, this whole thing that not only has it been I don't want to even name names. Basically, all these lawyers have been saying the same thing. The best case scenario is that a post conviction investigation get rolling and be absolutely awesome and solve the crime and then be able to hand all that over as we have a new trial.
Yes.
But eh, I think what they don't understand with this community is that you guys have tunnel vision. Okay, Michael Osbrook, Kara Weineke because they're on social media. So you are therefore married to the idea that it needed to be them.
That's right. And I think that was, in my opinion, that was a plan for quite a while. With, I think that was Osbrick's plan, actually. And I think, and then it, I don't understand not getting your way and then like totally turning against everybody that's been involved in this case who you were supposedly supportive of at one point, just because it's, you know what I mean? It's really, really childish to
Well, and
go
it's not.
after. And it's very unprofessional of him to do any of this. Like, it's alarming.
Well, and my thing to artist is that I would say none of this talking about it is going to change. Is going to make it happen. Like I understand, even if people care passionately. See what what I'm feeling behind Brianne's vibe is basically a reflection of the whole community because Twitter was exploding with insanity because people are all emotional, they're all frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
and okay, so there's a place for that, okay, but see that's been exploited by some sides too, and my whole deal is listen, there's no argument about this is the solution.
Right.
The argument is that these people are not going to be part of it, it appears. So let's stop arguing about that.
Right. It's a very dead in the water
It's a moot
situation.
point.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So what we need to be arguing about now, well, who is going to uh, conduct a post-conviction investigation? And hopefully they are the absolute best available, possibly available, but period.
Yes.
And I believe that's what people's okay, so people are passionate. They saw this hope with these attorneys who they are familiar with on social media dissolve. So now they're all frantic and angry and passionate and pissed. But what they're not understanding, it had nothing to do with the prof or any of the fucking YouTuber. Okay.
No, it didn't.
It had to do with the people who matter, quote unquote. They decided it was not their preference to go with that direction. So their preference is to go with others. Now, the question is going to be for me, and this is where we all have to be grown up, which means you learn that patience is a virtue.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, this will get rolling and it will be other individuals. So let us hope and pray that those individuals who will take up the mantle and run with it will be extremely capable, professional, thorough, and successful in a post-conviction investigation.
That's right. And all of this will take time. It's not even,
Years.
yes, realistically years. Appeals take years. What the process that Osric was proposing to do is extremely risky and rarely ever
Yeah, let's
works.
stop there too. Let's stop there too,
Yeah.
because that's going to be twisted. The process he was initially proposing,
Yes,
the Davis
initially.
Hatton procedure, yes. In the past months, he has not been proposing that. Okay. They have only been proposing a post conviction investigation, which we all agree with. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, there needs to be an investigation in many ways.
Now, where I was getting smarty pants, okay, and I'll double down on this because it's true. Part of the campaign that Mr. Osbrook was going to run, in my understanding, to the best of my understanding, included YouTubers as investigators.
Yes, that was my understanding too.
Now, the problem with that, in my opinion, bad call, because there's several layers of how it's a bad call. First of all, they're not professionals at it. Yes, they might know the case somewhat, but they're not professionals at investigating. So maybe those individuals could cooperate and hand things over and assist the investigators who are actual investigators. I would agree with that. But you don't
Yes.
have to be the investigators. And then, secondly, there's an extreme mm, leaking risk.
Yes, there
because
is.
because if you have a team that's intimately connected with social media, and even if they don't intend to leak, it's very, very possible it'd be so easy for one thing to just accidentally leak, and then boom, it's all over social media. Okay.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, it doesn't hurt for an investigator who's been hired by the attorneys to look into the case to look at what's going on in social media and whatever information they think they can garner from that that will be useful, that it should be handled through, through them.
The
You know what I mean?
professional investigators who have a lifetime
Yes.
of experience doing it and a bunch of connections where they can get things done. Um,
Yes, exactly. I mean,
and I was
that's exactly what it needs to be.
okay, and I was gonna say, let's see, there was another thing. Let's see. There was a thing about you don't know the system or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer, don't need to know the system, but lawyers can tell me the system, and they have done so. And I understand what's at stake here. And basically, like I said, what you don't understand when you're throwing that stone, here's what you don't understand. I'm not arguing the system.
Right.
Like, what? There's nothing I've argued that would be a pertinent point to make. The one thing I've argued is that I don't like you leaking shit on a website and then being circuitous or whatever. What's the term? Surreptitiously fucking doing all this, running this website, lying about it for nearly 2 months, and then inflaming the entire community about it. And then at the same time, there's this whole contract debacle that you then conflate, and then it's a whole
Mhm.
shitstorm, and then you're just all angry, and everyone's just fucking angry for 2 months.
Well, my whole
And
thing is with that whole thing, it's like, number one, doing it the way that it was done, and then just not coming forth with the fact that you were part of it. I mean, why? I mean, if it's nothing to be ashamed of, then what's the deal?
mhm,
And
that's
that's
what I'm
kind of
saying. And
exactly.
and then now to throw the defense under the bus and lambast them the way they are, it's a whole other layer of weirdness. And I want to talk about the contract too, because I think part of her rage was that I posted the contract, because there seems to be, see, there's another narrative that's running around or being spread around that's it's sort of a irrelevant, because they say there's nothing wrong with the contract. I never said there was anything wrong with the contract. Okay.
Right.
It was not posted because there was something wrong with it, quote unquote. It was posted in the spirit of transparency to calm everyone the fuck down who was arguing about it for more than a week but prior.
Right.
The reason there was highlighting in it, and I described it extremely specifically, there was highlighting in it because there were issues within the contract that were problematic to the parties.
Right. Right. And again, if nothing, it's there needs to be transparency. There hasn't been any transparency. This case is weird because of it. Um, the lack of transparency has been the reason why everybody has been left to their own devices on coming up with what happened here. And so just when you do that, you're just prolonging that whole situation. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody here thinks that Rick Allen, at the very least, doesn't deserve a new trial. He does. That's not,
And he will
totally not
likely
the
get
point.
one. I mean, unless this whole appeal system is completely compromised in Indiana, he
Mhm.
will likely get one. I would think he should.
Well, I certainly hope so. I mean, the fact that pretty much every trial rule on the planet was was not followed during the trial, the whole procedural thing, I would certainly hope that our Court of Appeals would give him another trial. I would certainly hope so. And if not, then, you know, if this trial can't get it, I don't see how any trial could.
But it needs to be new lawyers, new
Yeah.
judge, new trial.
Yeah. It needs to be it does. Yes, I agree with that. It just needs to be yes, all new handling. There needs to be different set of eyes on it.
And I'm telling you, artist, it is my true belief, it could not be any truer, that the discovery has been sanitized. So
Yes.
there's nothing that's going to solve this case enough in discovery. So yes, a very thorough, detailed, deep post-conviction investigation has to happen, in which you can go depose people and do this and subpoena records and the whole 9 yards.
Yes. Yes, and that as well will take quite a bit of time because
and networking, resources, power movers and shakers.
yeah, and that's the reality. If you're going to do an actual deep investigation, you're going to have to start at square one and you're going to have to go through it. And there's so much. There's so much. And that's also going to take time. It's not, I mean, I understand that, you know, a lot of people want him out today, but that's just not realistic at all.
He will never get out today, okay, or tomorrow,
Never.
or next week, or next year.
Never. Never.
Okay. So let's see. Let me ask you this, artist. Can we do a job? Would you be willing to play a role and do a mock debate?
Oh, sure. What role am I playing?
Maybe we should. Maybe I could put you into the shoes of one of these people who are upset, and let's think of some questions or.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Do you think? Okay, I don't want to ask you that question. Maybe that way. How would you get at me in have I caused problems in this? You know, that I don't know. That point she made is a very infuriating point to me, because it's like, I don't see how I'm causing the problems here. Like, I was not part of this website. I was not part of colluding with defense people, or I was not part of leaking anything. I was not part of any contract thing or any NDAs or any bullshittery. Like, I'm trying to understand. So yeah, if you don't have any first place to jump off, forget about it.
The only thing I could think is why people like her get so upset is because they're buying into the. It's almost like they're buying into the fantasy that this that the attorneys that should be handling it are not, and that somehow this is just what I hear when I hear that stuff. They're not really understanding how this stuff works. They've been fed an idea that is not realistic, and I understand why that idea, I guess, is pushed. It's to keep people chanting to free him, but that's not how the court works. It's just not how they work. The courts take time. They don't move fast for anyone. You know what I mean? I mean, they just don't. And this isn't any exception to that. Unfortunately, it just takes time. And, you know, and if Mrs. Allen said that this is not the route, that has to be respected. It shouldn't be chastised. It should be respected. It is her decision. It's her decision. It's her and Rick's decision. She is his power of attorney, which is what wives or husbands become when their spouse is in jail. You have to be able to handle their legal money. You have to be able to file taxes, and you have to be able to do that stuff. This is not an unusual thing. And I've heard that talked about too. Like, that's some weird thing, and it's just not. It's normal.
Let me ask the viewers. Look, there's 255 watching. Surely one of you is able to be calm and is upset about this and from that camp. Why don't you come on? You know, can we talk about it? Uh-oh, she dropped. Maybe someone can, okay, someone can come and calmly talk where we're not yelling and upset and already emotional through the roof. I'm willing to have this discussion. It needs to be had, but there are things we can't do it like that because it's not talking to not talk, you know. Okay, let's see. Hello.
Hey, sorry about that.
It's okay. You just dropped a bit.
Yeah, I accidentally hit a button. Sorry about that. I didn't hear just the last part that you said.
I forgot it too because we've gotten some comments here. I want to highlight this one from Veruca NACL. Hello. Some people mistakenly believe that discussing ideas, even critically, promotes and perpetuates those ideas. Right. That's called,
Mhm.
it's when they want to control your speech. This is what they do. This is why we are calling it the struggle session because I'm glad she came in struggling because we need to have a struggle session, but not that kind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like that doesn't accomplish anything.
No,
I
that's what I mean.
mean,
It's just all emotion. It's like the next thing we'll be doing is pulling each other's hair out. Girl fight. We're not having that.
right.
Um, I'll be calm when I'm good and ready in my effort. Sit down, sit down. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's human nature. People only hear what they really want to hear. If they have it in their head what they would like to happen with this, if they are hearing that from someone or they think they're hearing that, then that's what they're going to hear.
well, let's be honest here, okay? There's a whole contingent that is
Mhm.
pushing that. There's a whole PR team pushing that. This is why you have people like her upset.
That's right.
And they
That's right.
manipulated that. Remember when I said they were manufacturing this sense of urgency?
Yes.
They were doing it, and it was intentional. It was not. Look, and this is another thing Michael Osbrook misconstrued and misrepresented on a recent stream. I never said it was you. I said it was from that camp. There was a collective effort to pressure, to manufacture the sense of urgency, to get everyone all emotionally inflamed, to
Mhm.
conflate the issues, and basically it was just a whole what's the word? I call it a razzle dazzle. It's a noise campaign. It's
Yeah,
noise.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And you know what? I mean, really, if you stop and think about that, like the way that that was handled, it's like, why is it being done like that? Like, what is the reasoning for that?
Well, it's to create chaos so no one's actually asking the questions, the right questions.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I'm getting at. It's like
Mhm.
you need to be able. That's where the critical thinking comes in. It's like you have to stop and think. Like, wait a minute. Like, what what is the deal with not being honest about where you got it? What what is it, that's the other thing. It's like you could you could sit there and say all you want that that digital evidence is real, but hello. I mean, that's just I don't understand that. I've never understood that. I've never understood how Osbrook and other people associated with that. How can you sit there and say that that stuff's real? I can look at it with my naked eye and know something's weird. So why keep, and it's the same thing with this contract. It's like all they had to do was just say that they got it and be honest about how they got that and put it out there, right? I mean, is that's what you asked them for, just to be honest about it.
You got me confused on that one, actually.
I'm saying when they put that video out, you asked them to just be honest
You
about.
meant the video, not the contract. I got you.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
sorry.
thought
I've
you
said
meant.
the wrong thing. That's what I
Mhm.
meant. The video. That's all they
Yes.
had to do. And none of this would be going on right now. But by not being honest about that and not and hiding it and then creating this like crazy like smear campaign because you asked for honesty and transparency, it's really no better than other creators that have obtained things and put them out there. You know who I mean? It's just not any it's no better than that. We should be better than that.
And listen, we're not over here. What I've been trying to do forever, and this is where it gets hard, but this is the state of the world we're in, okay? Because it's the same with politics. This, like, if you look at the internal dynamics of this community, it's zero difference from the politics, you know,
Mhm.
because all the same tactics are being employed, slandering, smearing, PR, trolling, image, all image
Mhm.
creation. And so the way I look at it is yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to talk about because we end up where we're not even talking about real things. We're like arguing over phantoms. It's which is what happens in politics. You're arguing over two. It's a dialectic, like two extreme ideas that they're not representative of reality, but
Mhm.
they've been established to be like these caricatures of each other, and then so they can never meet. And this is how this Delphi is now, you know, because
Oh
it's all
yeah.
fucking PR'd out of the ass. Let's be real.
Oh yeah,
So
that's that no, no. That's absolutely true. I mean, and to me the moral of the story is here with this case is that this has all been done to just completely distract, derail, delay, um and circumvent what actually happened, who was, you know what I mean? It's been going on the entire time. The entire time.
all right, I guess what I was trying to get towards is that because it's a hard conversation to have even with you right now because it's just hard.
Right.
What I was trying to get to is there's no attacks here. There's no attempt to attack people.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, like that it's the political gaslighting that they turned it into that you're attacking. For
Mhm.
me there was no attempt to attack. The attempt was to attack the issue. So if we bring it back, we can bring it way back. We can say, hey, those crime scene photos leaks. Those were a thing.
Yeah.
And they
Yes,
were
yeah.
destructive to this whole case.
Right, and that's what we don't need is any more things like that that cause any more types of destruction, you
Right. And then
know?
you had the whole murder sheet debacle with the mean
Mhm.
girls and some of the attorneys who were in a group text, and it got all into murder sheet, and it was a huge thing, and it looked extremely bad for the defense, you know.
Yeah,
And then you
exactly.
bring it forward and you've had now this video leaked, and the way that was done, I'm very sensitive, and I'm very perceptive of the community's pulse. I take the pulse of the community, and when that video dropped, I was taking the pulse of community, and I saw how everyone was like uh, having this cognitive dissonance. They were like, "What is this?" Because they were, how it
Mhm.
didn't look like you would expect it to look.
Oh, it didn't look anything like it had been described by the people that were there at the trial at all.
Right. And
And
also it didn't look like what I expected in my brain based on what we had seen for years.
right. It
Okay, and
also
then
was
it was
like, what
behind this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
not only that, but it was like it caused further confusion because it didn't look like like it had been described. It wasn't what people were expecting. Nobody could understand why this was hidden from everybody all these years. But, you know, it just looks off. I mean,
It
there are
looks off.
questions. It's very off.
Well, and then for me, there were several layers because what I was seeing in the community, it was that plus the kind of mystery behind the website. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there was nothing solid, and it didn't even have a description to say this is the enhanced version, this is the original from the phone, this is the other thing, this is a fourth thing that has been stabilized. There was no description, it just dropped. And then this website was kind of nebulous. And so the whole community was just kind of like having this cognitive dissonance, and I saw it. And I said, okay, this is not right. This is not good. This is causing more harm than good out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I thought the best thing I could do using what I've been gifted with this, which is this platform at this time and my voice, I said the best thing I could do right now is try to insist on transparency and legitimacy and provenance and where did this come from? What is it? Prove it. Who is it from? How did you get it? I wanted the whole tea
Right.
because I thought that that would help. And instead of that being productive in immediately, it just led to like all of this what I was describing, this insanity.
Yeah, it was like I don't they just went on the defensive automatically, and that's what I
Defensive.
don't
Yeah.
understand at all. It's like if it's a true and accurate copy of that video, if it's not been further enhanced by either the production company, or if it's not the version that wasn't shown in court, then what's the problem?
Yeah, and you know what else I thought? I thought it's very fucking immature. You know, honestly, I'll be really mean right now to these people. Another thought immediately to me was this is very fucking immature. You know,
Right.
because exhibits are going to be forthcoming soon. I knew that the deadline or the timeline was coming where we were going to start getting exhibits from the court, which is the way they should come because then they are vetted, you know?
Yes,
And
yes,
I
they
was like,
are.
well, why would you do this when the court's about to release this and you do it this way, which is stupid? Whereas the court could have provided, if everyone just waited 2 more weeks, the court would have provided it in a way that would have caused clarity rather than confusion. And so my struggle was, if I just make a hell, raise a hell about this, maybe these people will, maybe the whole community as a whole will yell about it enough that the answers will come and someone will stand up and say, this is this from this guy and it's from this particular device or this fucking
Mhm,
person's work and this is what it is and it answer everyone's question, make it clean right away. And what happened instead? Artist, no
mhm.
one cleaned it up.
No, they didn't, and here's the other thing too. I mean, I don't understand why I don't see how they wouldn't expect for questions to be asked, because it wasn't released from the court. People have put in their requests for the various exhibits from the various document exhibits or whatever from the trial, the evidence, but there's been a delay. I mean, what is the clerk now up to? Like June something, right? June 9th or something. So, I mean, how do you think you can put that out and not have people say, "Wait a minute, how the hell did you get that?"
Yeah. So what really was nuts, I think, is you had just a small span of time, and then all of a sudden there was all this noise in the community about a contract and about these lawyers. And it was
Mhm.
all yelling and screaming and alarm. There was a lot of alarm on Twitter, especially about statute of limitations, suing the Westville. There's going to be a statute of limitation. It's all going to be lost. And no, no, no. What is Kathy thinking? Kathy's need.
Oh my gosh, we're not even close to the deadline on the statute.
Right. But when all that was happening, I was looking, I was like, Jesus Christ, what's going on with all this like emotion? Same type of thing. It's just nuts. It was nuts. So obviously I have a lot of local sources from Indiana, and one of my sources delivers me the contract. And
Mm-hmm.
they thoroughly explain every single detail, including names, dates, and all this other stuff. So I took it in and I thought, okay, I need to go out and speak on this in the community and clear things up. So I gradually started mentioning things to try to pour water on the fire. And it was totally ineffective because the fury kept building with people within the state of alarm they were creating.
Right.
Yeah. So then I said, okay, it reached a certain point, and I said, okay, I better. Well, in the meantime, I was researching. I had been aware of who was behind the website in this video release, and
Right.
and then I found it odd that it was all the same people behind both.
Right.
And so I said, you know what? The time has come now that I'm just going to publish this, because there's no way to satisfy this insanity in the community other than to publish it.
Right. Because you weren't, it's not like you just like just ran, just did it. It's not like you blindsided anybody with it.
Well,
You
no,
approached, you approached them first. So,
well, I also didn't sabotage because it was already my understanding there was 0% chance it was going to be signed.
right.
Okay. So once I knew that, I said, okay, you know what? I have to show this to community. Maybe it'll answer all the questions.
Right.
But
Well,
it's funny how spin works, because instead of it answering all the questions, they engage in a spin. And then all of a sudden it became about, you're trying to say something's wrong with it. You're trying to say we tried to do something wrong. You're trying to attack us. And that was never the point. And I found it odd. It's almost a guilt reaction, honestly. I'll say it plainly. I think it's a fucking guilty conscience.
that's exactly what it is, and it's also it is a gaslighting attempt to hide something that maybe wasn't done exactly on the up and up. And that's what people need to question. Like, why the frenzy? Why the big blow up frenzy? I mean, people, I don't know. I think I'm you and I are probably a lot alike in the way that I don't believe anything anybody tells me right off the bat. I have to go, I'm a researcher. Like, I go and I research the hell out of stuff before I make a decision. You know what I mean? I don't just take what anybody tells me right off the bat as the 100% truth. I have to figure that out for myself. And I think that that's what people need to do. Period. I mean, especially dealing in this case. I mean, look at all this stuff that has been said over the years. It is absolutely, I mean, it's not true, and if you really stop and think about those things, a lot of times you go, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Uh, People need to look into this stuff. Like the lady that got on and just blew up, and she's yelling at you for not knowing the legal process, but she doesn't really know it either, because her expectations are very unrealistic.
Well, to be that upset with me, and then you know that, listen, none of us have any effect on the goddamn judges or lawyers. Let's be
No,
honest here.
no.
That's what Rick Snay was saying last night. He was saying, you have no part in the appellate process. Stop interfering with it and let it be.
Yeah, that's true. When they go to court, they're not going to give a crap about what anybody
What kind of live
says.
streamed?
Yeah, no, they don't give a crap about that. And I mean, courtrooms are not Perry Mason TV shows. I probably just showed my age, but you know what I mean. They're not. There's usually a certain decorum and a certain way things are done, and you know what I mean. It's not. it's not like a crazy TV show. I mean, it's just not. I mean, it's people just need to be patient. I mean, and wait because it's going to be a process.
A long process. Another funny thing, the recent week or two, it's been Prof is a state actor.
Mm. You're a state actor?
Yes, that's uh Prof is a state actor. Nefarious. I'm like, really? Is that where we're going to now? We're going to
Oh,
that?
wow. Wow. Okay. Sorry. That's wow. So that's what it's stooping to now. I mean, come on now. Oh, wow.
I mean, this is
Okay.
if anyone cannot plainly see that I just sit on YouTube and talk from time to time, come on, man.
I know. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm trying to I'm letting that roll around in my head and it's
Okay, so where are we here?
laughable.
So we got that covered. We got the video, and then the exact same group. This is what's alarming to me. No one seems to understand. No one seems to understand. Like the exact same group that dropped the video, which was a manipulation tactic,
Mm-hmm.
behind the contract, which was a manipulation tactic, which is now behind all the trolling manipulation tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Does no one see that?
Right. Right. And see, that's what people need to be asking. Like, why was that video dropped when it was? Why all the
I can tell you why. Because it's when the judge had agreed to release exhibits, and I think it's when the whole case went over to the appellate attorneys. It was like
mm-hmm.
it was perfectly timed. The next day,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Everything in this case has a certain timing.
strategic, yeah.
Yes, a certain timing done to it. Certain things happen at certain times that seem to be very suspiciously convenient. If you know what I mean. I mean, that's there's definitely patterns going on,
But I would really love to have this discussion with one of them, honestly, who is calm, because this conversation needs to
Mhm.
be had in a way that that side gets to express themselves. But no one has taken me up on the offer. And the
Mhm.
thing, my whole deal is though, your discussion has to be good faith, no bad faith arguments, no logical fallacies, no personal attacks. Like,
Mhm.
but there, we can talk about it because I know I haven't done anything wrong. I absolutely know it. Have I made mistakes? Yes, everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes every day.
Right. I mean, who does I mean, nobody's right all the time, you know what I mean? It's where it would be nice to be able to have an actual calm discussion about it. It would, it would be nice for people to come to just an agreement on things and to just I would just like to see I see all that it does look bad. It just looks bad. It looks like something shady went on.
Well,
And
and I guess
apparently
that,
it
yeah, let me say that too, including the fact that that was nearly 2 months ago. Okay. And we come
mhm.
all the way to now where some of them are just starting to come out and talk and acknowledge some involvement, but not really be clear about any details. You
Yeah.
know, so Osbrook has come and admitted some involvement. He's admitted Angela had some involvement. Uh, Sleuthy has admitted some involvement. Luke has admitted some involvement. Carol Weinecke has admitted zero involvement.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, and then not only okay, so they're admitting some involvement, but with zero details, and then there's this whole other thing of like blasting the defense, which I'm still trying to understand because they're also at the same time saying the defense does not agree with us, and we had to threaten them in order to not publicly issue a press release disagreeing with us and condemning us. And they're pussies and motherfuckers, but we're not going to talk about that. And I'm
Right.
sitting back, I'm thinking, there's something bad here. There's got to be something bad because there's too much. This is all too much. Like
Yeah,
everything that's happened with this case, like the crime scene photos leak where someone ended up dead, you know?
right. Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's like that's what I mean. That like all that the fever pitch of all of it, it's like there's got to be a reason for that. I mean, why would you get so worked up? Why all the I mean, and all the threatening and the I mean, I've seen some pretty nasty threats in the last week, let me just tell you, in like comments and things like that. I've seen really shitty things got done to Adrian this week as well. You know, like and there and some of the stuff is it's not even related to any, it's just plain mean, nasty behavior. It has nothing to do it's with the case at all or what's or the this debacle going on right now. It's just like stuff said to be just mean. Again, it's just a distraction tactic. It's to rile people up. It's to, and why? That's what people I think need to be asking themselves. Like, why? What's the point of doing stuff like that? For real. Like what? Like just just the transparency thing is that's just the key. I mean, it should have been like that all along anyway. So I'm with you. I mean, I don't understand that. I'm still kind of laughing in my head about that state actor thing. So that's weird. Like you of all people, come on now.
Well, I'm serious.
Come on now. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully things will calm down, and hopefully the I don't know. It's like they're just pissed because they didn't get their way. It didn't turn out the way that they had planned it to. And
No, it
that's
didn't,
life.
and it won't. It won't.
No, that's right. And that's my point. People that get worked up and jump on that bandwagon of, it turns from, well, we didn't get our way because it's Kathy doesn't know what she's doing type of a thing. That's ridiculous.
She should not be making decisions. Yeah.
That's
No, no, no.
ridiculous.
That's what I mean. And look, I don't, like I said, I don't want to beat up on anyone, but can we not criticize when others do things that are just kind of reprehensible?
Yeah. I mean, her decisions need to be respected. And I mean, it is, I mean, it is up to her, you know,
Mm, it's a
it,
shame, man. This is all a shame. But the
it
thing
is
is, no one is everyone's bad faith. They won't come and talk about it honestly, you know. And so I guess I just have to, I don't know, like I have to sit here and just talk as a like monologue about it. It's stupid. Like all the points that don't make sense. Like let's talk about if I'm upset at Osbrook and I just did it. Yes. Am I upset at Osbrook? No. I'm extremely in disagreement with Osbrook for his stupid ass theories on the case. Okay. And going with the state's narrative that doesn't make any sense and not questioning what's obviously questionable. Okay.
yeah,
And I'm upset about aspects of trying to discredit me. I'm just a fucking YouTuber. Why are you going around trying to discredit a YouTuber?
because you're not going along with what his narrative is,
Yeah.
which I've never understood that either.
So there are things like that. Yes. And as if one of them would come over and we could actually discuss that, that's what I meant
Mhm.
about why don't you play the role? Make some of those questions and maybe we could discuss it if you're one of them. But
Right,
there's all those
right.
things and like you publish, like I said, you published a contract because you were trying to make it look like they did something wrong.
No,
That's not why I published it. And I was not implying they did wrong. I don't think that necessarily presenting a contract was doing something wrong. I think it's all the fallout since then has been doing something wrong. Yes.
yeah, I don't really understand like why they get so mad about that either. I mean, I don't really understand that either. I mean, it's not like It's not like it was some like top secret document, that required a security clearance that you leaked out. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It really wasn't an an out of the norm type of contract as far as how it was written or anything. There was nothing nefariously, nothing nefarious in it. It wasn't written like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? What I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't like
That
something that I
wasn't the
felt like
point.
needed to
I
be
don't. We
hit.
shouldn't even be talking about this because that wasn't the point. No one ever said it was. I guess that's
Right,
what I'm meaning, artist. That no one ever said it was like.
right.
What you know who said it? Who said that something was wrong with it? They did. They said, "Why are you saying something is wrong with it? We never tried to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it." A lot of lawyers looked at it. There's nothing wrong with it. No one said there was anything wrong with it.
Exactly, and that's my point. Like, why get so upset about it? I mean, yeah, it's not like you just put it out there so the general public could read what that said. It needed to be. It needs to be. People
Well,
are tired of
but there was
everything being
more. There's
hidden.
even a level further. As I said, I highlighted things that were of concern, to the best of my understanding, to some of the parties who had a decision in it.
Mhm.
And I thought that was being charitable or helpful to this other side. In other words, you guys want to know? Here maybe are some things that were a little bit of a question to the other side. But it
Mhm.
seems like, you know how they say, like, what's the phrase? It's not like damned if you do. This is another.
Mhm.
It's like I'm going to give you something for free, and you're going to use it as a weapon to attack me. Like, here's a meal on a platter. Oh, throw it in my face.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Hold on, I got to
It's
stop Christy because Christy's starting to get me upset. Look, Christy, please stop. Talk to Adrian, Christy. I don't want to talk about it. You're wrong. I mean, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong, and you'll figure it out, I guess. But talk to Adrian. I'll leave it at that. Sorry, artist.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I didn't want to let that slide by because it's been like 5 texts in a row. Can we get past that point?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
I would just I hope everything calms down. I don't know. I'm just people need to be thinking about like what what this is about. I mean, it can answer some questions as far as what's really going on right now here. You know what I mean? It's strange.
Oh, there you go, Veruca. No good deed. That's it. No good deed goes unpunished.
Boy,
That's
is
what I
that the
mean.
truth.
I highlighted the motherfucker so that you assholes would have some understanding of the most concerning parts. Now, is that
Right.
rude enough for you?
That
Okay.
is absolutely yes. No good deed ever goes unpunished.
Yes, thank you. I had to say it rudely since if I say it nicely, you don't understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well, Prof, I'm gonna jump off of here. I'm gonna lay back and listen to the rest of it until I fall asleep. I'm sorry I missed most of it last night. I started listening and then I just crashed.
Let me see if I can get someone else on here then. But
Yeah.
artists, thank you so much for coming and always
Yeah.
being in the chat. I know a lot of people are glad to meet you. They might not have met you yet. So
That's right. Well, the last time I was on, Osberg jumped in, so
we're not going to do that next time. No, he's no longer welcome because of bad faith arguments. Okay.
absolutely. Have a good
But
night.
thank you. All right. Good night.
All right. Good
There
night.
goes artist. Boom. And she's out of here. It always flies by, doesn't it?